Good morning, everybody. This is Robin Ayub from the Localization Fireside Chat, and coming to you from a highway on the Canadian highways. Sorry, I'm wearing my sunglasses, but I was telling Diego earlier, I'm not used to wearing sunglasses lately because we haven't seen the sun that much. But I've been driving early this morning. I started driving, and I'm driving east, and the sun is right in my eyes. So I had to use my sunglasses. So we're doing the recording today. I'm doing it from the car. I have Diego Cresceri with me from his office in Italy, I believe, right, Diego?
Yep, absolutely.
And Diego is a returning guest to the channel. Diego and I did a podcast, what is it, about a year ago now, Diego, right?
It is, yes.
And it was popular, to be honest. We got like almost a few thousand views on that video, still high ranking on the channel. I think you're in the top 10 from the last conversation we've had. So it's pretty good. And I thought we get another conversation with Diego today for many reasons. Diego is well plugged into the scene of localization, the overall localization industry. He's very well plugged into the European market, and he's got an overall view of what's going on in the market. So Diego, first thing first, welcome back. I'd love to see you. I'd love to talk to you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me back. It's amazing. Thank you. And thank you for, I know it's early where you are now.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. What time is it for you? I think it's like 3 o'clock.
No, it's 3. It's 3.
Yeah, 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
So, Diego, welcome back. If you don't mind, I know a lot of people know you. You don't need a lot of introduction, but we always have a brand new listeners or viewers to this channel. Would you mind give us a small introduction of who you are for those who don't know you?
Of course. Well, I will start by saying, because I'm always sad that I don't mention this enough, I will start by saying that I'm a linguist by education. So I'm an interpreter by education. Started in the industry in 2005. Did just a few months of translation, then moved to project management in another company. I was a partner there, then I left after almost 12 years and founded Creative Words, where I am right now in 2016. So it's been almost 8 years. Apart from that, I'm in the board of ELIA, the European Language Industry Association. And actually, I'm also in the advisory board of the Canadian Language Industry Association. Thank you again for that. And hoping to visit Canada pretty soon. So yeah, this is who I am, and I'm the CEO of the company, and I take care of the strategy of the company. So I'm all involved in different initiatives and always listening to many things. Always on LinkedIn as well to read interesting stuff and talking with people like we are doing today. I'm all about sharing, and so I love these kind of conversations here.
Absolutely, great. And Diego, you're located in Italy, right? For the audience?
I am, yeah, north of Italy, Genoa.
Yeah, excellent. Diego, there has been like several events in the industry. Let's start with that. What was the last major event you've attended, and what's your impression?
I actually attended 2 events last week, actually. So in May, I didn't attend the big ones like Lockwood and Gala, and not going to the upcoming Lockwood event either. The last one was an ELIA event for executives in beautiful Malta. It's not a big one. We had almost 70 people attending, all executives, basically company owners, or most of them at least. But it's been a while that I go to a big one like Lockwood. It's been last year in June in Malmo. I guess the kind of conversation that you get are always the same. The reason why I'm not going, though, it's not about the content itself, is that I send other people in my team, more than one usually, so that they come back with a collective intelligence.
That's right.
And they are smarter than I am, so I like to send them instead of me. More for the networking part, but they come back with new ideas.
So in Canada or in North America, we say divide and conquer, meaning that you distribute your resources where you need to use them, right?
Absolutely. And again, they're really smarter than I am. They get the ideas from their point of view, different roles. I sent 3 people to Gala in Valencia, and they came back with really huge things to implement here. So I'm really, really happy.
Absolutely. So from an overall strategy, like if somebody's listening to this dialogue about, I need, and I'm talking to a lot of executives. This episode will be episode number 69, I think. So
Wow.
so everybody is on their mind, like revenue generation. And part of that revenue generation strategy, Diego, is, everybody I talk to, first thing they say, okay, I'm going to go attend events. What would be your recommendation? Like, where do you see more results? Is it industry specific, like our localization industry specific? I guess it depends on your target, of course, but or do you go to other industries? Do you go large events, smaller events? Do you have any advice?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure I am the right one to answer this, but I'll tell you what we're doing. We always done events and marketing. But last year, since I acquired the company, we started doing some active selling. So we are going indeed to different events. We've been to one at the beginning of May. I think that's the thing we should all be doing. But I think we need a mix of inbound, outbound marketing, sales, industry events, non-industry events. We're now focusing on more on the technology events in this moment. And yeah, I think you need to find your own way, I guess. For
Yeah.
us, we are still learning and growing into this. We are not going to the big medical, I don't know, medical device events, for instance, or e-learning events. We're not
Mm.
that targeted right now. But I
Hmm.
think we will need to do that sooner or later as well.
So I do agree with you. It's a trial and error, obviously, and you got to find your niche, if you will. And I found over the years, like even if you find, an event that you would say, okay, I'm going to go to this repeatedly, that doesn't even work because it may work like 1 or 2 years in a row and you get a good results out of it, but then you get a 1 year, third year, and it didn't go well, I guess, and then you shift your strategy, right? So, but one of the things that I'm hearing from you saying that events should be a staple in the marketing, if you want to call it tools that you have at your disposal. So,
Absolutely.
as you mentioned earlier. So, and everybody seems to agree with you. Like one of the biggest thing that everybody's on their mind right now is revenue. And so every conversation, it doesn't matter where we start, technology or we start with process, everybody comes back to, revenue generation. Do you see
Yeah,
that
I mean,
on your side?
I did see that on my side as well. I focused on revenue for many years. I focused on growing the revenue, and I'm still want to grow my company. I think revenue is one of the things we should focus on, but not the only one. Last year we had not the revenue growth that I would have wanted, but we had a huge increase in margins. Well, it was bad year in any case, but still, we focused on margins before focusing on revenue, and that was the right move. So I think we should focus on efficiency and revenue and margins rather than revenue. But
Absolutely.
again, I do want to grow my company also. So
Sure.
last year I bought a company because of revenue. So, different things. Again, it's a mix. And there's no right strategy, I guess. It's a mix of things that we should consider.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the company you bought? Is there anything you can share about this
Well,
year?
yeah, sure. We Creative Words was born as a single language vendor, basically. So we grew a lot for Italian, into Italian and from Italian. That one had many things that I liked when I met them. One is that they were in Milan. Milan is much better in terms of business than Genoa is. Genoa is where Creative Words is based. Second one is they work more with end customers. And this is a segment I was not really strong on. They offer different services as well, like interpreting, for instance, and we're growing quite a lot in that. And they offer multiple languages. It was a small boutique company, really simple company, so to say, 3 people only, but very strong on their market and with their customers. So I was looking for revenue and I was looking for new things that I could offer. And I'm pretty happy about
And so you see a cultural fit as well as financial benefits. Is that what I'm hearing?
it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, cultural fit probably is not the best way to define it because we are quite different. So it took us a while to integrate this cultural part because, of course, where I saw the synergy was offering our own way to do things to their customers. And this
Okay.
cultural fit took a while to build.
Okay.
But now I'm really happy.
Excellent. And did it, for integration piece, did it take you a long time, Diego? Or how complicated, how fast or long took you?
Well, we I bought the company in June last year, so it's almost a year, sorry, and we merged before the end of the year. So it's 1 year. I don't think we are fully integrated, but the reason is not the integration itself; is that things are changing constantly. So again, it's a trial and error thing. And
Okay.
so I don't think we come to a moment where we will fully integrated, but I do want to keep our own specificities as well. So I'm not even looking for full integration, honestly.
No, I mean, a lot of times people depends on where they see the integration happening, right? So sometimes you just integrate the basics and let people do what they need to do. If you bought a successful company, why would you disturb it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm completely agree with you on that one. Now let's switch gear a little bit, Diego. I think this is episode 69 that we're doing together here on the Localization Fireside Chat, and we've had a chance to speak to a lot of experts, a lot of executives in our industry from around the globe. And there are, if I do a cross common denominator across all the conversation that we've had, two, three topics comes to mind. One is the technological changes and the metamorphosis that we're going through as an industry. And there's two schools of thoughts there. There's one, they see it as an opportunity, and the other one, they see proceed with caution. I don't want to say scared, but proceed with caution. Just from where you stand right now, how is this conversation is evolving? Do you see it the same tenacity or intensity, or do you see it diluting a little bit? Where do you see it?
I don't think it's diluting. I would add a third option to what you said, because you said, it's an opportunity, first one. Second one is proceed with caution. I think there is a third one, which is not proceed at all and still wait to see what happens. And this is what I see a lot as well now. Most of the LSPs I get to meet in any environment, I mean, like the BILIA, Italian associations, private conversation are still waiting to see what happens. Now I think, well, now probably 6 months ago was the time to start doing something or proceeding, as you said. I still see a little bit of disorientation on this topic. Tomorrow I'm delivering a speech at one of the two Italian associations of LSPs, and my message would be start doing stuff because it's already too late. I mean, again, I would understand proceeding with caution. I don't really understand keep waiting. I mean, nobody will come to you and knock at your door and bring you the solution. And if you are the owner of a company, I think it's your duty towards your people and all the stakeholders in the company to start, to have a vision, not to have fear only, but to replace fear with vision. And, I mean, otherwise, what are we here for? The CEOs, I mean, to set the vision, right? I think now it's time to start doing stuff. And honestly, we had the last conversation last year, 1 year ago, maybe even more than that. I don't see many differences. And I think there is a lot of hype, absolutely, and there is a lot of lying as well. I just saw a report, I think it was Buzz later. They will forgive me if I'm wrong. 60% of linguists are saying that they use AI in their daily jobs. And this is absolutely not matching what I see and what I hear and what I hear from people when I talk with them. I mean, they don't know what to do with it. They don't really know what to do with it. So yeah, there's a little bit of confusion still. And with linguists, I think it's also because of they don't know what to do. Well, companies as well. And this is why we do want to work on some trainings as well for our linguists to start with, and to all linguists out there, because there's nothing as such at the moment, I think.
Yeah. Now, Diego, do you from your conversations, what is and you just attended the executive summit in Malta, which, this is a great sampling of people who own companies, executives, etc. in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like the consensus is, look, another technology will come and go, or this technology is going to stay around, or this technology it's not useful for us. Is there a common consensus amongst people, or no?
No, absolutely not. I don't think there is a consensus. I think it's more, I don't know what's happening, right? I didn't get anyone saying it's gonna stay or it's gonna leave. Most people are thinking or saying, I don't know. And this is what I see, at least. I mean, this is my analysis. Well, some people say that it's another technology, but what I see, what I observe is people scared and disorientated. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know where to go. They don't know, what kind of services you can offer. And I was in another event, I believe in April, and someone was commenting that I was just basically saying bullshit. Can you say that?
Yeah, you can. You
Because I
can.
was saying the same as I'm telling you now, and this person was commenting, "Come on, all LSPs are also have always been into innovation, and they are innovating, blah blah blah." It's not true. What I observe is smaller LSP that are more in my circle. Most of them are really not there yet. They're not using at full what you could do. And I don't believe it's a matter of not sharing what they're doing. It's a matter of
Hmm.
not doing. Simply, I think I'm not saying all of them are like that, absolutely, but I see more fear than action in this moment, and also that might have to do with that or not. I see many companies are on the market to be sold and
Yeah, I hear
or
that.
to be merged, and this, I believe, is a reaction to fear. I don't know what's going to be in 2 years, and so I'm selling.
That's
Um,
right.
I don't see, but probably some are selling for that reason, but I don't see companies on the market to build something bigger and stronger. It's out of fear that they're selling. Let me get out of here as soon
That's
as
right.
possible, right?
So
And
yeah,
this testifies the fear, and I
yeah.
guess.
So if to prove your point, actually, I was talking to a couple of we had our Canadian Language Industry Association Global Speak conference here in Canada last week, and I had the opportunity to talk to one of the sorry, recording is resuming here, and talking about the possibility of these companies selling, and the activity is higher. The people that they are interested in exploring selling their companies are higher. Now, if you talk to the brokers who generally say, look,
Hmm.
because something is happening now and you're interested in selling your company, it doesn't mean your company can sell right away. There's some preparation that needs to take place, etc. So it may take you a year or two, maybe 3 years to sell your company. And so there is that state where you want to sell, you're not ready to sell. What do you do, right? So
Yeah.
there's a lot of people debating this right now.
Yep. That was actually one of the topics that were discussed in Malta with Alia. Absolutely. How to get
Absolutely
your
right.
company ready for sale. It takes time, and the companies that offer to sell to me, to Creative Words, they are definitely not ready. I mean, there's no plan behind. It's just a reaction, right?
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
get out of here as soon as possible.
That's right.
But it
And
will
and
take time, and unfortunately, I don't think that all of them will have the time that they need to prepare for selling
no. Yeah, that's
because
right.
of what I was saying, because of this inertia that I was saying.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that's I'm noticing in the industry, I'm not sure if what you're noticing on your side is yeah, there are some companies are not, they're saying I don't want to do anything and I'm just going to continue doing what I do because they've got a niche or they've got a certain way of dealing with their market. They've got a bit of a
Mhm.
boutique, way of dealing with the market. That's fine. But at a larger scale, there are some, like I'm talking on the customer side, on the market side. If you're a big bank or a pharmaceutical company, etc., you probably have some security concern, and you're already not approving the use of AI until you're ready for it security-wise to be used.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the next topic where the genie is out of the bottle. Technology is out there. A lot of these employees who works for larger organizations, they're not listening to anybody. They're just doing their thing. They're just going on their browser and doing their own transactions. So I call it business leakage.
Yep,
So I think, although the smaller guy who's dealing with it, or smaller companies who are dealing with a specific niche, the mid market of our industry, I think, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. There is a business leakage going on where you have some requesters, they used to send you, let's say, 20 orders a year. Now they're sending you five. Or 100 orders, now they're sending you 10, because now they're finding a different way of doing it using technology. Am I correct or no?
absolutely, absolutely. And this is what companies are experiencing, many of them. Absolutely, absolutely. And it gets to the freelancers as well, to the linguists. Everybody's complaining about revenue going down because of volumes, not because of weight. I think now the problem is not the weight, it's the volumes that are going down a lot. Absolutely.
So, so what is your interpretation then when you see statistics or you see forecasts coming from our research part of our industry, right? So you
Hmm.
got like the NIMSI, the Slater, the CSA research, and I with all due respect to everybody, everybody does like the best, and they've got their heart is in the right place. They're doing the best they can. I hear these kind of conversations about, revenue going down, but then I see the forecast for our industry is like being forecasted upward. I don't think it's matching, but maybe there are some inside stories that I'm not aware of. What do you think?
Well, I think our industry is indeed expanding, and we have new players. We have new services that we can offer. We are expanding a little bit, not completely, but a little bit into the content industry as well. So my own business, we are offering other services as well that are more into the consultancy part. So, and our revenue is not going down. Just translation projects are going down. But we are consulting, we are training, we are content generating. We are doing many more things. And I guess, as with machine translation, we will have at some point more volumes translated or processed or generated even,
Hmm.
um, just because the technology will make it cheaper to do that.
Yeah. So I
So I
assume,
think this is happening.
then, taking your company as an example, many companies are already going through the transformation. And if our traditional business is going down, the other services are offsetting that loss of revenue.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was thinking earlier this morning that I need to track it because I have no idea how much revenue we're generating from new services compared to translation, and I need to start doing that. But there are so many things that you can offer now that have nothing to do with translation. They have to do with language, and it's a transformation we should start doing now. We started
So,
last year.
okay. So in your company, are you using AI in any fashion?
We are well, we started last year with our own content, our own marketing. Absolutely. I'm not fully satisfied of how we do it, but we'll get there as well. And we have many customers that are using our services already. We have our own things that we do. We use GPT with APIs. We create our own workflows. We do that a lot. The thing is, you mentioned privacy. This is a concern for many. So we are trying now to be more clear about that, but we do use AI in many different things. And you might know or not that we have an innovation lab now with 7 people. So it's basically a research and development team of 7 people. Of them are linguists, and our linguistic team is now 4 people. This gives you,
Okay.
I believe, the idea of where the balance is at the moment. Well, this is just my company, but we got some news recently, mergers of tech company with LSP, and where basically tech company is taking the lead. And this shows where we're going, I guess.
Hmm.
But I do think the market is expanding, honestly. I don't see it ending or getting smaller anytime soon.
And do you see that the staff that were, let's say, trained to do jobs before any of these changes took place are being trained, are adopting new skills, are they learning, or you're putting them through some sort of a special training, or you're hiring brand new people? How are you handling the skill update?
How am I doing that, or how is the industry? Okay, I will start with myself. Last year, I had this meeting in March. Maybe I mentioned that in my last episode with you as well, where I told my team, "Look, we need to change now. Let's change now." It took a while, but we're changing. I moved two linguists to this innovation team, so they're doing other things that I will tell you about later. I moved the project manager there, and so we build our own team. And they are training on different services. And also my in-house linguists, they are changing what they do compared to last year. So linguist one who moved to the innovation lab is now programming. You can imagine after 5 months he's programming things. He was an audiovisual translator. Just that. I'm not underestimating the value of a translator. I'm saying he's doing completely different stuff now.
Yeah.
The other one is also training herself on some other activities. They end up being many different things. This I did. Company my size here in Italy, there's no, as I said, there's no change happening. And this means that they are either not training their people or upskilling them or reskilling them even, or they are getting rid of their linguists. And this is very sad. And this is happening quite a lot. Like a lot.
Wow.
And I think this is not only wrong from an ethical point of view, but I think it's completely wrong from an entrepreneurial point of view, because you get rid of talent that you nurtured for 15 years. And there's a lot of value in our linguists. They can really,
100%.
really have a great value, even working with the new technologies. I saw an article today about one of the biggest newspaper saying how the linguists are, and this is, Renato says that you talk about translation when it's bad, right? And this time it was an article about linguists being important in using AI. And I was really impressed in a positive way by reading that. But I truly believe it's true. We need our linguists, and they can provide a lot of value even with technology. Absolutely.
Because I 100% agree with you. Like, this is scary when I see online, and I think sometimes people are over exaggerating, when they say, oh, I lost my job because of AI. And sometimes I scratch my head. I said, who would let go somebody because of AI if you're a linguist? You need that linguist to shape the technology, and if you don't shape the technology using experts in the languages that you've trained, as you mentioned earlier, Diego, and you've invested in for so many years as your employees, you let the technology loose on its own, basically, with no guardrails around it, then you're going to end up, at a worse problem, at a much worse problem, where you're going to end up with bad quality, your customer's going to leave you, a bunch of things going to happen, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I saw more than one company doing that. And I think it's a big mistake. You empty your company and you end up in having no company anymore. I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. It's really sad. And this is actually the reason why I published that letter, open letter to the industry, because this is what I'm seeing now. And it doesn't make
Yeah, I saw
sense.
that.
It doesn't make sense. I have to add, though, that change is difficult. And nobody wants to change normally. And so there are companies where I know linguists are struggling with change. They've been asked to change, but they don't want to change.
Yeah.
So maybe for some of them, this is why they've been let go. Maybe. So but it's more on our side, the company side, to have this vision and to even force change. Because last year in March, I was quite, directive on this. We need to change.
That's right.
It was not that when there's such a big thing going on, you don't need to be democracy. You need to be more directive, right? You need to force it because maybe you understand better, or you have the responsibility of this.
Yeah. Diego, last time we spoke, you mentioned something about you were involved with the local universities in the area, local university in the area. And one of the topic is being discussed, which was brought up by Renato in the last conference that we've attended here, and I published a video.
I can hear you very well.
So what Renato was talking about, say, look, he's asking a very, I want to call a question that probably in the industry probably would be like a big no-no, but I see the logic in it. Do we need, our students or our prospective students or linguists to go to university and study linguistic, or do we need to get them to study technology? Do you need them to get the other focused area, right? So any thoughts on the academia involvement? Now, regardless of that comment from Renato, but there is some sort of an involvement from academia and how academia going to be graduating the new wave of linguists, if you will, if there's that interest still out there in taking on these things. What's the involvement of academia in your
This
opinion
is
in
a very good
updating their
question.
skills?
This is a very good question that is very close to my heart. Indeed, I'm involved in many different things, including being in the committee of 2 Italian universities, in the steering committee. And I see like huge differences even between these two. And I'm involved with the Commission, with the European Commission, in this Lind group, now representing ELIA on that in that team. One of our duties recently was to select some of the universities to join the EMT network, which is like quality seal for universities. And so I got to analyze, I believe, 20-ish universities. And some of them are really, really riding the wave of technology and are preparing the next generation students. And I love them. I love the program. We have now, I believe, like 12 interns. And some of them are coming from very good universities that are really, they found, I guess, the balance between technology and language already. I have to say that probably the majority of universities are still sticking to the old linguistic profession. And actually, one of the 2 universities I'm involved in, they send me this question, this survey about what they think that they should be teaching, and they're still stuck with cut tools. They've not even started teaching cut tools. Imagine the rest. So, I mean, the different scenarios, I think, generally speaking, some universities are doing a great job, like a great job.
You see the link though between academia and updating the skills to match the where the industry is heading down the road, right?
Yeah, yeah, for some of them, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Academia being all universities,
yeah,
probably we're going there.
that's what I'm
Some,
talking about, generally speaking.
yeah, absolutely.
Of course, you need a standardized for studies around linguistic. I get that. You need to have that formation, if you will, or that learning, if you
Mm-hmm.
will, early on. But you need to also be aware or cognizant, because I was just talking to a few people like just about to graduate, and the subject of AI, the subject of any of those technologies that we use, TMS, etc., it's pretty much foreign, and they're graduating this year in 2024 in some of the universities, and it feels to me like either the universities are set in their own track, some universities, not everybody, set in their own tracks, and to change the curriculum is just like navigating a large boat
Yeah,
in a wide ocean.
I don't not even want to start complaining about them, some of them. But one of the replies that I got recently was, we need to offer to students what our professors can offer. And so we need to start with skilling the professors or retire them, I guess, because we are still, I mean, I still have meet some of the professors I used to have 20 years ago. Which I don't mean we need to put them to the waste. Come on, at least some with skilling. And some of the universities are more into the research side, so it's kind of useless in terms of employability for the students.
Yep.
Again, some of them are doing a great job, but some of them really not,
Okay,
unfortunately.
so let's talk a little bit down. We are in May, end of May, so almost halfway through the year. We still have a few months to go before the end of 2024. I can't believe I'm saying that. Time is
Yeah,
flying fast. Um,
absolutely.
Crazy, right? So I don't know if if time slows down in Italy, but here in North America, we feel that time is flying back so fast. I'm just joking, obviously. What is your view toward the end of the year? What do you think overall is going to happen from here to the next, until December kind of frame?
in terms of the industry in general, well,
Industry in general, yeah.
I'm afraid I will see other companies out of business. Unfortunately, I think that for the companies that will start change and this digitization, I don't know how it is in English, they will grow, not as much as maybe is depicted in NIMS's forecast, but they will start growing. And I think we will also see some M&A going on, even in smaller companies. One other thing that I didn't mention is mergers as well. I've been offered to merge with different companies also, small companies. In that case, in that kind of situation, I do see more of a willing to build something new and bigger compared to selling. So I see that there will be more activity in that. And I'm also thinking that we will see bigger ones, bigger mergers at some point as well.
So
I don't know
what's
what to say about the linguist. The linguist. So this is what is worrying the most at the moment for me. I don't know, but I'm
mm,
hoping to see more training going on and more. We will also see more linguists leaving the industry.
yes.
Hoping not too many. I see that a
Hmm.
lot,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
I hope we find home for them in the new world that we're going to, and I hope everybody listens to you and to me through this conversations today, and think twice before you let go in linguists, because those are your fundamental assets. There's a
Even three
lot of
times,
they
not
they
just
bring a
twice.
lot they bring a lot of value to. It doesn't matter what technology world that we're using or we're going to be using. They bring a lot of value there to shape the technology, to shape the service, to shape how we serve our customers, because we can't forget we're a service industry. We serve somebody else, right? So at the end of the day, we don't operate in vacuums. Nobody sits in their office and say, oh, I'm going to be a translator for who? You're serving somebody. Or I'm going to own a company. What does the company do? It provides services. It provides services to somebody. So these
Yeah,
things needs to be taken into consideration as well, right?
absolutely. And I would add, even with freelancers, talk with them because some of them are really eager to know how they can provide value to you.
Mm,
They just don't know how to do it. So
yeah.
I was in another event with another Italian association and the other one actually. And there was a company who brought 20 of their freelancers in that conversation. And
Mm,
they were extremely impressed by only the fact that they've been invited to join that conversation. We need to talk through the whole supply chain, from end customer to the linguist, the last linguist that we have in our database. Even if
yeah,
it's not an in-house linguist, it's a freelancer as well.
absolutely. To finish off the conversation, I guess one last thing is for you personally, what are you hoping to achieve before the end of the year is wrapped up here? What is your you don't need to get into specifics, but overall goals that you probably, my God, if I have a magic wand and some stuff I'd like to get done this year, what would be the major ones that you'd like to get done?
Well, I think we need to get better in selling what we can do. I think we do many great things, and so I need to work better on that. We are building our sales team. Never had one before, so I think we need to get better in that. Which means providing more value to our customers. I guess it's not a matter of revenue; it's a matter of providing more value. I'm pretty happy about what we're doing. Probably we should let the world know better, and I want to help other companies as well to do the same as much as I
Absolutely.
could. So probably short answer would be fixing our sales to keep growing, I guess.
Excellent. Yeah, you absolutely bring a very good point, and I took note of it because to change the services that you're offering and to tell a different story about each service takes a specific skills to adapt the story and how you tell it to the audience, whoever the audience are, on the outside of your
Yeah.
organization or inside your organization. Sometimes it needs to be fine tuned. That message needs to be fine tuned, and it takes some changes. Plus, in some cases, your customers are different. In some cases, they're not the same buyers. In some cases, they're different buyers. So you got to get to know a new team of buyers inside of your customer base and know how to communicate with them. I get it. It's a bit complicated, but you're right. That would require some magic to happen. You're right.
Yeah. absolutely. And artwork. I believe more in
Abs-
artwork than magic, but
Absolutely,
some
absolutely.
magic and that
Our life in the industry is combined of two things: hard work and luck. So you need both.
absolutely. But again, I'm really happy, and I think we are very well positioned to keep changing and to keep growing. So
Absolutely. Diego, before we wrap it up, any last comments you like to share, or any advice that you like to give people who are, either afraid or maybe encouraged? Doesn't matter. What's your advice to the listeners today who are
well,
faced with challenges?
I think this applies to everyone in the supply chain, in the chain in our industry. Is let go with fear and bring some vision and keep talking. As in my letter, as I said in my letter, again, you should talk with your customers, otherwise they will fire you because they don't know that you maybe are just open to offer something else. You should talk with
Yep.
your linguists, and so let go with fear is probably the basic message. And these go, you can get that also by talking
Hmm.
with other people. And this is a very good platform here, your podcast, also
Really.
to be informed, because you also need to be informed. Otherwise, the first emotion is probably fear of the unknown. So
Hmm.
the more you know, the less you fear, probably. Also, I don't know.
Absolutely. Look, I want to thank you so much for taking the time with me today. I really appreciate it, Diego. Always great chatting with you. I hope to meet you one day in person. Like, we've had this conversation several times now. I never
Absolutely.
had a chance to see you in person yet. Hopefully I see you in Canada, or I go to Europe, whichever.
As I said, I would love to come to visit you in Canada
And
or
now
to
we're
Austria.
working on the same advisory board now. We've probably got to get a chance to see each other eventually.
Why do you think I got there? No, I'm kidding.
I love you too, brother. Don't worry.
Thank you so much for your time
Thank you so,
and
thank you
drive
so much,
safe.
Diego. And for our audience, I want to thank you for listening in. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for viewing us on YouTube as well. We just passed 300,000 views on YouTube, thanks to you. And I did not dream of a localization fireside chat to be monetized. So we got monetized. No, mind you, there is no money
Oh,
coming in. There's no money coming in, but we earned the right to be monetized. So, which is great. YouTube recognized that we're doing something right. So thank you so much for everybody.
good job.
I, re- I really appreciate you guys liking, sharing the comments, and using the comment in your social networks. Thanks, everybody. Until next time, this is Robin Ayub and Diego Cresceri signing off. Thank you so much.
Thank you.